Okay, students, now let us continue our class with the next beverage crop or next important or second important beverage crop which is grown in India, that is coffee. The important varieties of coffee which are grown in India is Arabica, which is the best one, then Robusta and Liberica. Okay, we just need to know the names and no details are required in this case. Now, regarding the growing condition, on an average, coffee requires 22 to 32 degrees Celsius temperature. Rainfall is much higher, that is 200 to 250 centimeter on an annual average. And regarding the soil, deep, moist laterite soil or black soil, which is regularly manured, that kind of soil is required for coffee cultivation. So, and the land, just like tea, in case of coffee also, we need gently sloping land, or like tea, coffee is also grown on hill slopes, and the reason is same. Now, regarding the areas, okay, regarding the areas, we can say that the southern states of India are very popular in growing and consuming coffee. The important places for coffee cultivation are Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. And for processing, we can say that coffee is processed through wet and dry method. So for this one also, details is not required. You need to know only this much, that coffee is processed through wet and dry method. Okay. So now we have completed the fiber crops, that is cotton and jute, the beverage crops that like tea and coffee. Now we will move on to another important cash crop which is grown in India, that is sugarcane. So sugarcane is actually a tropical plant and it belongs to the grass family. We know how it looks like, resembles a grass. So we can say that it belongs to the grass family. Now, regarding the products, we know that crystal or powdered sugar, which is the most refined one and quite expensive among all the varieties. Next is gur or jaggery, which is dark brown. Sometimes it comes in liquid form, sometimes in solid form, and it is not as refined as sugar. The third one, which I'm going to mention right now, Khandasari, that is little bit uncommon to you people. So Khandasari is also like gur only, but the color, or jaggery, the color is yellowish, it is not dark brown, and it comes in the solid form. Okay, but the sweet content is least possible. That is why it is considered to be most inferior, and obviously it is the cheapest one. And Khandasari is most commonly used in the rural areas or in villages. So these three are the products, like sugar, jaggery and Khandasari. These three are the products of sugarcane. Now let us know something about the byproducts. The first thing that we can say or we can mention, that is molasses. So molasses is a dark brown syrup like thing, and it is mostly used for making vinegar, acetic acid and all those things. So uses, I prefer that we will learn in the chapter agro-based industries. Okay. Next is bagasse. Bagasse is nothing but the crushed stalk. Okay, when the juice is taken out, the leftover stalk, that is known as bagasse, which is mainly used for making packing boxes or cardboard, all those things. Last but not the least is press smart. It is a dark colored semi-solid residue. Okay, so we have to know the products as well as byproducts of sugarcane. Now regarding the growing condition, temperature on an average 18 to 25 degrees Celsius. So obviously in the initial stage 18 to 20 degrees Celsius temperature, and during the growing period and harvesting time 23 to 25 degrees Celsius temperature. rainfall 100 to 120 centimeter on an average. Here, I'd like to mention a very important thing, that sugarcane cannot be grown in those areas where the rainfall is too less or the climatic condition is little bit dry, because if the weather condition is dry, then there is a chance that the sugar canes will get dried up. Rather, it cannot be grown in those areas also which gets very heavy rainfall. So in that case also, the sugar cane will produce less sweet, the sugarcane plant will produce less sweet canes. So that is why we have to be very specific about the rainfall condition, that it can be grown only in those areas where rainfall ranges within this. Now the next thing, that is soil. So it is a soil exhausting crop. What does it mean? That sugar cane is actually requires huge amount of nutrients. So after each harvest, the soil has to be fertilized properly. And the best soil for sugarcane cultivation is black soil. Okay. Now, regarding the areas, I will mention two prominent states only, that is UP in northern part of India and Maharashtra in southern part of India. In your textbook, you will be getting obviously a few more names, but please, these two names you have to give. These are the most important producers of sugarcane. I have mentioned only the important producers. Okay. Now, regarding the method of propagation or regarding the method of cultivation, we have to mention two unique procedures, because sugarcane plants, they are not propagated through seeds. Okay, they are propagated by two methods. The first one is known as the set method and the second one is known as the ratoon method. So what are those? Let us understand one by one. Okay, so what about the set method? The set method is nothing but, first of all, if we just imagine how a sugar cane looks like, we know it is a long, narrow, stick-like thing which has got many nodes within it, and from each node some thin and small string-like things or those kind of things are coming out. So that is why what happens, if we cut a sugar cane along each node and we plant them in the soil, through those small thin string like things, those are the roots actually, a new sugarcane plant will grow. So when the sugarcane cultivation or sugarcane propagation is done in this way, it is known as the set method. So let me explain it once again. That is, in this method, the sugar canes, they are cut through each node and those small pieces are replanted, so that from those small pieces new plants may come up. The main motive is to save time because it matures early. The next method, which is known as the ratoon method, is more popular. Okay, in case of ratoon method, what happens? That leaving a small portion in the land, rest of the portion of the cane is cut. Okay, so that from that small portion which is there in the land, a new plant comes up. This is known as ratoon method. I am discussing it once again. In case of set method, we are cutting the whole cane, but in case of ratoon method, we are leaving a small portion of cane in the ground and then the upper portion we are taking out and we are selling it, or we are getting whatever products or byproducts we want to get, we are getting that from the cane. And what is the purpose of leaving that small portion in the ground? So that a new plant may come up or the plant of next generation may come up. Okay, so what are the advantages? It matures very early and that is why it saves time, money and labor. But it has got some disadvantages also. What are those? That is, after each generation, the cane becomes thinner and thinner. And another problem, that is, ratoon crops get very easily affected by pests or diseases. Okay. So thank you, class. Today this is all about that we have done. So please go through all these crops from agriculture 3, that is cotton, jute, tea, coffee and sugarcane. I intend to upload another video shortly, and we will finish this chapter with the oil seeds, edible and non-edible both. So for the timing, I have to leave. So take care of yourselves and please go through the chapter. Thank you.